Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos had what could be described as an up and down game versus the Washington Commanders. It really was a tale of two halves. Russell completed 56.8% of his passes for 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. But as always here on this channel, we like to dive beyond the numbers and see what is going on the All-22 coaches film. And today we're going to answer the question, is Russell Wilson all the way back? So without further ado, guys, let's just go ahead and get into it. So we're going to start off with Russ's first throw of the day. The Commanders just missed a long field goal, so Denver gets the ball in pretty good field position here. First down and 10 from their own 39-yard line. And Denver obviously got out to a 21-3 start in this game. The offense was absolutely humming on the first 3 drives. They went down the field and scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions offensively. Overall, man, everything was clicking when the Denver Broncos were on their scripted plays. And this was a great start right here where we're going to have Jerry Jeudy come in motion to the left side of the field. And what's going to happen here is basically they're just going to do a little switch release with Jeudy and Sutton. Jeudy's going to come underneath here, just run a quick out route against off coverage. And then Sutton, he's going to release and then run kind of a deeper out route like that. So they're hoping that the switch release can kind of throw off these two Washington defenders a little bit. And whenever you have an out route versus off coverage versus soft coverage, you generally want to take that here. So the hope is that these two defenders will sort of cross paths with each other, and then that won't give enough time for this guy to close in to this out route right here to Jerry Jeudy. And as you can see here, Russell takes the snap, and it's working out pretty well. You see Jeudy, he runs a really nice route on this play. At this point, he's got the corner flat-footed. Jeudy is showing no sign of what direction he's going to break. The corner doesn't know if he's going to break inside, if he's going to break outside. A great job right there by Jeudy, putting his cleat in the ground and then breaking and getting that separation right there. That is a fantastic route and a good ball by Russell Wilson. A quick, easy completion to start the day. Jeudy turns upfield and gets kind of WWE'd out of bounds. I'm honestly surprised that wasn't an unnecessary roughness penalty right there. But a quick, easy pitch and catch to start the day for Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos offense. On the rest of this drive, the Broncos relied on the ground game, and they ended up scoring their first touchdown of the day with Jaleel McLaughlin that put them up 7-0. And that opened the door up for this next play right here. So after running the ball down the Commanders' throat on the first drive, now we're going to hit them with a little bit of play action. You see right here, Washington is stacking pretty much 9 defenders down here in the box. So they're trying to play the run all the way here, and Denver is going to punish them for it. We're going to have Quinn Miners pull around right here, show that run action. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. And so we're going to have Brandon Johnson here. He's going to sell the deep over and then break to the outside right here. It's too high, so that's going to put this safety right here in a bind. I believe that's Derek Forrest. And then just behind that, got a deep post, just a blazing deep post right there with the speedster Marvin Mims. This is just a fantastic play call by Sean Payton. And Russell Wilson, man, this is legit stuff right here. We got that hard fake. You see right there, Forrest crashes down to the inside, and he bites on this over route right here. And you can see once Brandon Johnson snaps outside, he's got a chance to be open because Forrest has his back turned to him. But Russell's looking for the kill shot on this play, and he steps up in the pocket right there and uncorks one of his patented moon balls. Tell me this does not look like Russell Wilson to Tyler Lockett for all those years in Seattle. I mean, this is elite ball tracking and elite ball placement by both Marvin Mims and Russell Wilson. This is the Russell Wilson that we traded for. And it's throws like this that prove that number 3 is not washed. He can still do it. He can still play at an elite high level, and throws like this are absolute proof of it. This is an elite throw that only a few human beings in this world can make. Look at this. These are the patented moon balls that Russell Wilson has been known for throughout his entire career, and this is something that we definitely hope to see more of throughout the course of this season. Russell to Mims deep down the field. And this wasn't even the first time that we saw it in this game. So this was just awesome to see that connection starting to develop. Russell Wilson felt like he didn't have that true speedy burning threat down the field last year. He didn't really have that Tyler Lockett type player. Now he might have that Tyler Lockett type player again in Marvin Mims, and that bodes really, really well for Russell Wilson moving forward. And this is going to be the other deep shot to Marvin Mims on this next play here. So Washington's going to come out in cover one robber. So this guy's going to be sinking down here to play the middle of the field. This guy's going to be sinking upfield right here. So Russell Wilson knows he's got a one-on-one matchup right here on the outside with Marvin Mims. And I'll go ahead and move it forward a little bit here. It's going to basically be tight press coverage right there at the snap. So Marvin Mims, this is a must outside release go route. So he has to get that outside release and then just streak down the sideline right here. One-on-one matchup, and Russell Wilson knows it all the way, and he is going to drop an absolute dime. You see him look off the safety, Derek Forrest, right there with his eyes, manipulate it, zip back over, step up in the pocket, and delivers a perfectly placed rainbow down the sideline to Marvin Mims. Again, man, tell me that Russell Wilson is washed after looking at those last two plays. Sit here with a straight face and tell me that number 3 cannot still play at a high level. Yes, there has to be some more consistency, which we'll talk about in this video, but look at these plays right here and tell me that number 3 is washed. I dare you. Man, it just sucks to know how this game ended because the offense really was rolling. This is a play that Russell Wilson actually audibled into. You could hear him on the TV copy saying, "Hey, let's go Vegas, 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 Vegas." So what Vegas is, a little short motion here from Brandon Johnson, and it's going to be a mesh concept here for the Denver Broncos. So shallow cross here, and then we've got Jerry Jeudy, who's just going to be sitting right here on sort of this Hank route underneath right here. I love that Russ checked into this play. It's a brilliant play call to beat the coverage that Washington's in here. I absolutely love this. So we got the short motion right there. Russ takes the snap. You see the two defenders right there for Washington. It's man coverage. They kind of get lost. And Russ just puts it right on Johnson right there. And again, we've talked about it before on this channel. When you're running crossing routes, if you get man coverage, you keep running. You get zone coverage, you sit down. We get man here, so Johnson keeps running. And he gets into the end zone, man. I wish we had utilized Brandon Johnson a little bit more than we did in this game. Obviously, he had this touchdown and another key touchdown on that Hail Mary. But obviously, Brandon Johnson's a guy who has some playmaking ability. I just wish that he would get utilized a little bit more in early down situations especially, but I love this from Brandon Johnson for sure. So this, unfortunately, is going to be the play where everything kind of starts to go to hell for the Denver Broncos, and this is going to be Russell Wilson's fumble here. This is one where, again, you can definitely argue that the officials missed a face mask, but we never should have really come to that situation, honestly. So we've got Russell Wilson right here off play action. We're backed up to 2nd and 15 thanks to a Ben Powers hold. That was also one of the plays that killed this game for the Denver Broncos. You see Russell wants to hit the flat right here to Samaje Perine, but 57 Cody Barton has it covered all the way. So Russell Wilson pulls it down, and it kind of turns into scramble drill left here. But what I don't like is the hesitation from Russell Wilson. He's kind of undecided what he wants to do. Does he want to throw it downfield? Does he want to tuck and run? Does he want to just throw it away? What does Russell Wilson want to do here? You can see you've got 52 Jamin Davis, who's got really great hustle here. He's charging in to make the play on Russell Wilson on this one. And I don't even know if Russell Wilson saw him. I think Russell Wilson thinks he's got a one-on-one here with, I believe that's Jonathan Allen right there, the defensive lineman. So Russ thinks that he can outrun Allen, but I just don't know if he even knows that Davis is coming. We've got Davis charging in right there. Russell has a little pump fake action, and then he doesn't tuck the ball down. He leaves the ball kind of exposed, and yes, right there, you can definitely see where Davis is sort of grabbing onto his face mask. We'll get a better view of that in a second, but Russell Wilson puts the ball on the carpet, and I'm pretty certain he thinks he's down because he makes no effort to try to recover the ball. He's pretty certain that he's either down or the officials are going to get a face mask penalty. Unfortunately, neither of those things happen. We'll see here. We got our play fake, flat covered, Russ leaks out. Just tuck the ball down, dude. If you're going to run, you've got to tuck it. By this point, Davis should be in your view. You should know you've got to protect the ball better than this, Russ. You really do. He goes for that little pump fake action right there. Davis comes in and definitely gets a piece of his face mask right there. Officials miss it. That's inexcusable. But what's also inexcusable is Russ's poor ball security. Puts the ball on the carpet. He's pretty certain he's down because you can see him pointing to the ground right there. Hey, I'm down, I'm down. I bet he also thinks he's getting a face mask penalty called here because the broadcast angle showed that the face mask definitely affected his concentration for a second, and that's what caused the ball to come out. Now, we'll come back over here. Why did the officials miss the face mask? I want you to pay attention to the line judge right here as Russell Wilson is starting to scramble. You'll see that he gets momentarily sidetracked, the judge does. And that's just as Davis is charging in right there. It feels like the official's worried that he's going to get hit on the play, so he tries to get out of the way. And just as his concentration is off of the play for 1 second, that's when the face mask happens. And he's got no clue. He's got no clue. That's the unfortunate human element of officiating, and that's why I really wish that some of this stuff would be reviewable, because clearly there was an obvious face mask, even though it was only brief and happened for 1 second, and the official was momentarily sidetracked when it happened. At the end of the day, that's still a missed face mask penalty, and it drastically affected the outcome of the game. This is inexcusable, and I don't know what the solution, quite frankly, is. I really wish that some of this stuff would be more reviewable, but I also understand logistically how that could be a bit of a disaster for the game. So it's just tough, man. I really don't know what the hell the solution is here, and it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, you'd really like to see better ball security from number 3 on this one. So here we've got a rough miss on 3rd down by Russell Wilson in the second quarter. This is right after Washington had scored their touchdown subsequent to Russell Wilson's fumble. And this is just a rough miss. You can't excuse it. We've got a little short motion right there to a bunch set from Brandon Johnson. We've got Jerry Jeudy who's just going to run a little hook route right here. He's wide ass open. This is as wide open as it gets. If Russell Wilson puts it here on Judy's right shoulder, he turns upfield. Not only does he get the first down on this one and preserves Denver's drive, he also probably turns it into a big play. I don't think he scores necessarily, but he turns it into a big gain. Unfortunately, Russell puts it on the wrong shoulder, throws it behind Jeudy, who has to adjust, and he tumbles to the ground, and he cannot get past these two Washington tacklers right here, and it ends up being short of the line to gain. Now, I know some people are saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Russell had a completion on that play. That's a good play. But at the end of the day, if Russ puts that on the right shoulder, if that's a slightly more accurate throw, Jeudy gets the first down and more, and Denver doesn't have to punt. Instead, Denver punts, Washington's able to go downfield, and they kick a field goal heading into halftime, and that makes the Denver lead 21-14 instead of 21-11. So, at the end of the day, man, this is just an inexcusable miss right here, and I'm putting that one on number 3. You just can't not put that on number 3. So this one's going to be Russell Wilson's interception, and this is one that I initially said was a miscommunication, and I didn't know if I could put this on Russell Wilson or not. This actually, unfortunately, looks like Russell Wilson just misread the coverage along with a miscommunication. It was just a busted play from the get-go here. So coverage-wise, what I think is going on is it's going to be cover 8. So What that is, it's basically inverted quarter, quarter, half. So normally in quarter, quarter, half coverage or cover six, you play quarters coverage to the strong side of the formation and you play cover two to the weak side of the formation. Here they're playing cover two to the strong side of the formation. You obviously got three eligible receivers to the left, including the running back, and they're playing quarters coverage over here to the weak side of the formation. So with Russell Wilson, I think he may think this is quarters coverage across the board, and Emmanuel Forbes is going to sink because he throws a stop route to Cortland Sutton right at the line to gain here. Now, Sutton ends up running pretty much a go route, and it looks like just a jumbled mess all across the board. I don't know if Russ thought that Forbes was going to have a little bit more depth and then Sutton was going to snap off, so I don't know if this is just a bad route by Sutton and a misread by Russell Wilson. That's what it feels like, because if he's throwing the stop and he knows that this is cover six, then that's still a bad decision. I can maybe get it against quarters, but this isn't straight quarters. This looks like cover eight. It really does. It looks like half quarter quarter or quarter quarter half, whatever you want to call it. This does not look like straight quarters coverage. This guy's stopping right here, Emmanuel Forbes. He reads it brilliantly. Again, man, this is just one of those what the hell is going on plays. And these are some of those expected growing pains that you get when you're learning a new offense. That's just what happens. Unfortunately, it happens at an inopportune time in the second half where Washington really starts making adjustments to Denver's run game and forces Denver to sort of depend on drop back passing game. And this is kind of the stuff that happens when you're trying to learn a new offense, and miscommunications like this were kind of the theme of the day. And to think Denver's offense still put up 33 points with miscommunications, but at the end of the day, I kind of have to put this interception on number 3 because I think that he A, reads the coverage wrong, and B, throws a bad ball. So just not great all the way around there from Russell Wilson. And this play here is another example of those growing pains. I don't know for sure what was going on here, but I do have a theory. I believe Samaje Perine is running an option route on this play. He's got the option to either break to the outside or break to the inside, depending on what the coverage is doing. You can see here, Russell Wilson's looking at Perine, and I think he's expecting Perine to break inside. Because you see, if Perine breaks inside, he's probably able to turn upfield and get the first down. There's no Washington defenders in that area that can really close in time. So that's what I think happens. Perine reads it differently, though. He goes to the outside, and I don't think that Russ is expecting it. I really don't. Because you see here, Perine cuts outside, and he actually slips down. And so Russell Wilson by this point knows, okay, that reads dead. I got to get the hell out of Dodge. You see that there is a bit of a lane that Russell Wilson can step up and get out of, but Jonathan Allen collapses the pocket, and Russ kind of runs into him a little bit. Russ crow hops out of it and tries to get past Chase Young right there. It basically would turn into a foot race in that point. You could maybe argue that Russell Wilson from 5 years ago, when he was a little bit more mobile, would have gotten out of this. But at the same time, he does stumble out the gate, doesn't really get good, clean footing, and Chase Young gets him from behind for a sack. This was just a killer sack, man. I mean, at this point, Denver had a chance to go up 28-21. Instead, they've got to settle for 3, and they only go up 24-21. Washington marches downfield with Brian Robinson on the next drive, and they end up taking the lead 28-24. And that really changed the game plan for Washington in this game. But you see here, Wilson kind of runs into Jonathan Allen. Crow hops out of it and just stumbles out the gate, and Chase Young gets him from behind. That's a brutal sack. It really is. This is going to be a great ball from Russell Wilson. So Washington's going to be playing cover 2 drop right here. So they're going to be playing basically just deep cover 2 zone. Russell Wilson, man, he's going to make a really nice throw. Cortland Sutton just on a little in break right there, man. That's going to be a really, really great throw there by Russell Wilson. Sam Howell made a very similar throw, just finding the little void in the zone defense earlier in the game. A really great throw. And Russell Wilson threads the needle on this one, man. Look at that ball placement where Sutton and only Sutton can get it, threads it into a super tight window. This is high level stuff right there from Russell Wilson. All right, guys, so that's all I got for you. Is Russell Wilson fully back? From a talent perspective, just physically, I would say yes, he is. He definitely has proven that he's leaps and bounds ahead of last year, and that physically, from a talent perspective, the same old Russell Wilson is still there. It's all about honing in on that consistency and consistently getting that version of Russell Wilson out of him. With Sean Payton, the play calling has definitely had some growing pains and some issues, and Russell Wilson has had some of his own growing pains and some of his own issues, but those are really to be expected. They're learning a new offense. This is a completely different offense from what Russell Wilson has run his entire career in Seattle. And it's also a complete 180 from the offense that he ran last year under Nathaniel Hackett. So they're going to be those growing pains. But overall, man, Russell Wilson has definitely proven that he can still play at a high level. It just needs to be more consistent. All right, guys, be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell. And let me know your thoughts as always, guys. Do you guys feel like Russell Wilson can still play at a high level, or do you feel like the Denver Broncos made a massive mistake by trading for him? Drop those comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are two free and easy ways to share your support. Helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out and helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.